Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy I Sleep Too Late, and for those competitive EDH players on the subreddit Discord, I've got some exciting news for y'all. The version 0.03 of cEDHSkill, the ranking bot, is officially released, and we've got a new league for 2026. So here's some information on the screen. You can see here that it's starting from February 9th all the way through April 4th. To get started, join the Discord, the official Discord for cEDH, discord.gg/cEDH. Go to #GameRules channel and then get your role. The prize support is funded by me. I'm going to be donating $100 to first place and $50 USD to second and fourth place. Additionally, I am going to be printing a playmat for the league champion. The person who places first will get a playmat printed by me, art provided by Flower, one of our excellent admins on the Discord. In addition, you're going to be getting the League Conqueror Role if you place first, which is a very special role. And those who place second to fourth will get the League Ace Role, which is also a special role. In addition, ProxyPrintery.app is going to be providing proxy decks for the 1st through 15th place, and they are going to be providing a coupon to places 16 and 30. Now, this is a two-part video, so the first part is just basically talking about the league. The second part is going to be talking about cEDHSkill and some of the new features. And then later on, y'all can probably stop watching, honestly, in the second half, because it's going to be focused on people who use cEDHSkill as admins or moderators and some of the functionality there. So let's go ahead and get started with the new features on 0.03. I've added the ability to give participation points to people who participate in a game. So if you play a game, no matter whether you win or lose, at the end of the calculation, you're going to be getting a +1 to your ELO score, which is actually going to be shifting your mu slightly, mu being your average and sigma being your standard deviation. There's going to be improved linear decay, so every time somebody doesn't play after a 6-day grace period, so you have 6 midnights to not play a game before your rating goes down. After 6 or 7 days, you will start to see your rating go down 1 point per day. It's going to be a very mild decay, but it is something to keep in mind if you decide to stop playing. I've also consolidated some commands. The view stats in league stats is going to be one view command. It's a slash command that just says view. And if you press enter, it's going to just view the league stats. And if you give it some parameters like a player, it'll view the stats for that player. I've also enhanced some admin tools, which we'll talk about later on in the video, as well as some bug fixes. So moving forward, here are the regular user roles. Rank is basically going to be doing the same thing it did before. One thing to note here is you can actually set a rank and then after parameter after a game ID. So you can actually set a game ID to insert a rank game after it. I think you can do that as a regular player and for an admin, but it's mostly for admins who want to provide a game in case the order of the games got messed up for whatever reason. The set command specifically for regular users is so that you can set a commander for yourself for a game or all the games that you play. View, like I said before, is going to be able to view all the league stats or a specific game or for stats on a single player. List is going to show the top ranking players. You can also use it for the top ranking commanders. And the predict is just a fun slash command that you can use to predict turn order. Look at the league turn order or view 4 players or commanders separated by commas to see what the stats or prediction is going to be for those based on the data at the time of the use of the command. All right, now for the admin moderator's role, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Discord and I'm going to go through some salient points, some important information for y'all who are admins or moderators who do want to use cEDHSkill, whether you are on the official Discord for the subreddit or whether you're using this for your own private server or for another server. These are some of the new features that you can use. So basically, not much has changed. Just basically rank, restrict, vindicate, reanimate, backup, and snap, undo, redo are pretty much all the same. The new feature is print history is now print. So all you have to do is hashtag or /print, and then you can either press enter to view the full league history, including all the commands that people have used. You can use it to view player history or decay history or things like that. And additionally, you can type exclamation mark opt out if you want to stop receiving suspicious activity, or opt in as a direct message to the bot if you want to start receiving suspicious activity notifications again. Now, I will say suspicious activity is going to be more useful in this new version because the risk of collusion, of course, with anytime someone wants to get a +1 on their stats for participating, can possibly be abused, but not really. I mean, +1 is going to be a very mild viewpoint. We are going to kind of use the spring season to kind of see what it's like, to see how people behave and see if people prefer this way. One thing we were noticing in previous league was that people weren't really playing after a while because, first of all, there wasn't that much change in their rating, and also things got a little bit stale as you know, after I guess second or third month. So we're shortening the league a little bit, so you can see from February to April instead of February to May, and we're kind of improving the workflow with the new features. Now, there are a couple of commands that you should be aware of that do not really apply in a production-ready scene. Well, Thanos Snap you're going to be using to end the league season, so that one you're going to be using at least once to end the season. That's going to send a clean copy of the database to all mods and admins, which I can demonstrate that to you. Timewalk is specifically for testing, so it does exist in the bot, but it's specifically something that I created for myself to simulate speeding up time so that decay can actually occur. Nobody should be using this unless you're testing the decay functionality. So basically, if you're using this for your bot in production ready scenarios, then obviously you should not be using that at all. All right, let's go ahead and get to Discord, and we're going to see how this works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rank a player. We're going to use my I bought too late to kind of see, and you can see here that after game is something that you can insert after a game ID. We're going to let's make Articuno the winner here. We're going to make Gyarados the loser. Now you can also, like I said before, set turn order. So you can actually do 2 here, saying Meowsalot 1 as the second player. It doesn't matter whether you put the number ahead or behind the W or the L. But as long as you separate it by a space, everything needs to be separated by a space in order for this to work. We're just going to use I bought too late to lose. And let's say that they're the 4th place winner, and then we'll use I bought too late test. And if you don't put 3 here, it'll automatically detect that this is the 3rd turn order player. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Now, the only reason why this went through, you will have to use a reaction confirmation if all the 4 players are being used in a game submission that was not from an admin. I am an admin, so these players have been confirmed automatically, but you can see here that the ratings have changed, and you can see here that there was a +1 participation point added to everybody here. So that's how this works. You can see here that turn order was already tracked. You don't have to track turn order, it is optional. Well, let's go ahead and rank some more players. We're gonna do let's do Articuno again, and this time they're going to win playing Nekusar the Mind Razor. Oops, this has got to be typed correctly. Oops. All right, and then they're gonna go. They're gonna go first. Let's just put it that way. I'll put myself again, and I would have lost playing Nagila, the Blade Blossom. And let's say I went 4th. Let's put I bought too late as a player who went 2nd. I don't know if they played, let's just say they played the first sliver, and they lost, of course. And then this is going to be another player who lost, and then let's just leave them empty. Let's just leave it alone, and let's see what happens here. All right, as you can see here, the bot correctly logged and assigned commanders. So you can see here that it not only assigned the winners, but it also provided data for the commanders. You can also use rank for commanders only. However, when you use rank for commanders only, for example here, let's say we didn't use Meowslot or the other players, it can only take in no pings to players, only commanders. They have to be formatted just like this. And if you do it like, let's say rank Nekusar, the Mind Razor, let's just put that again, and then you have to separate this with a comma. So then we'll do Najila. We're just going to do the same thing, and then let's do the first sliver. So I think that this is going to work like this. I believe this is how it works. The first sliver. And then let's just do no commander. No commander is another way to do things. Oh, commander name. Oh, I see. So I do apologize. I haven't done this in a long time, but basically you have to use Nekusar, the Mind Razor. Honestly, this was good because I couldn't think of any commanders to use. We're gonna say they won. We're gonna say Najila, the Blade Blossom, lost. Oh, no commas. I'm sorry, no commas. And when you do it this way, the turn order actually is already included. So make sure you keep that in mind. That the turn order data is already included here. We're not going to use no commander, but just know that no commander is something that you can set. Edgar Markov L. So now you can see that the commanders have been logged. Participation points actually do get factored in here. That can obviously change depending on what the community wants. But you can see here that the deck battle results has been auto-confirmed by a mod and the game ID. Now, if a regular user logs this, it needs at least 2 people to confirm or react to the game to go through. Not all 4 players need to react, just someone saying, okay, yeah, this actually happened. Not everybody has to react to it, obviously. All right, so we've logged 3 games. One thing that's kind of cool about this is you can actually go undo, right? We're going to use the undo functionality here. And you can actually undo this, and it will remove the play. This is something only admins can do, but you can remove the players. You can also do undo again to undo further games. So this undid the second game that we entered, which again removed 1 player with a 0-0-0 record. So they're no longer going to be viewable in the league. You can also redo to redo the commands, and you want to redo again to bring back that commander game. All right, so that's how you do this. You can see kind of like what was going on here. You can see that the games correctly got reflected in their ELO scores, taking into consideration the +1 participation. Now, one thing that I also want to do is the view command. So let's go ahead and view. You can view a type, player, or commander. We're just going to view Articuno's stats. Right, you can see that they won twice. They have a 100% win rate, which is amazing. You can also view commanders. So we're going to view Nekusar, the Mind Razor. That's going to give you the stats for that commander specifically. You can also view game ID to see what was going on. Let's just view this game ID, D0437B. So every game gets logged with the game ID, and you can see again the results of that game. All right, so that's how you do that. List is very important. Let's use list here. If you just press enter, You can see all of the players that have participated. If you want to view the top 2 players, you can do list and then, list count 2. Now you're going to notice that this has 3 players. Why? Because numbers 2 and 3 in the position have the same rating, so it actually is a tiebreaker. List 3 is going to do the same thing because these players obviously had the same rating. Oh, I'm sorry. This is slightly different. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think I actually entered the count. You have to actually click on count. And now you can see that the top 3 players were displayed. Because when I hit the 3, it wasn't part of the count parameter. So just make sure you hit the parameters when you do this. That's the view. That's the list. We talked about that. And now predict is actually a really cool thing. You can just use predict to see the league stats, the turn order statistics. And you can actually do predict. And we can actually use this on participants. You can use either commanders or players. You can also use phantom for an empty slot. So let's do Articuno. It has to be followed by a comma. Let's do JH. Let's do Gyarados. And of course, let's do I bought too late. So this is going to show the order. It's going to take into account 3 different predictions, okay? The chance that they're going to win with skill only is the first one, right? This is skill only. This one is based on their turn order with a 10% dedication, contribution to their ELO skills. And then the hybrid uses 60% skill and 40% enhanced turn order. And you can see that Articuno is, of course, favored in all 3 of these prediction models. So there's 3 different prediction models. I put a lot of thought into this, right? And so those are all the things that a regular user can do, obviously excluding the fact that rank bypasses limbo. And then obviously I'm not going to use snap, but snap clears all limbo. Print is something that you can do to print the entirety of the league. And that's going to send you a message. As you can see here, it exports the entire league so that you can kind of see what's going on. I'm not going to open this, but it's something that you can view as a text file. You can also print information on, let's target a player. You can target a player. You can view, decay, like the amount of times that the decay has happened. And all those other things. You can also view a bunch of other things, right? I'm not going to go through every single one, but it's already in there. And you can also look at the README for more information on that too. Now, remember that there are 5 games that needed to enter a league. To be someone that is part of the final league, you need to have participated in at least 5 games. All right. Mods, you can use restrict to get rid of a player from the league. This will ban them from being able to participate in games. So if I use rank again and I try to rank Articuno, let's just do this. So if I do this, it'll say you can't do them because they've been restricted from ranked games, right? But you can also vindicate them, which will not only remove them from the ban list, they can play again, but they will also no longer be able to be flagged for suspicious activity. Now, what is suspicious activity? I'm just going to blow my nose real quick. There are some certain things in the bot. I'm not going to state every single parameter, but if somebody does anything weird, like submits a bunch of games in a short amount of time, it will alert the admins or moderators that there is suspicious activity with this one individual. And Vindicate will basically clear them from suspicion. If you do an investigation and you realize, okay, they did this and it was legitimate, then fair enough, right? If you want to bring someone back to baseline, meaning they can be banned and they can still be suspiciously activity flagged, then you want to use reanimate because it's like the opposite of indicate. Get it? So we can do Articuno, and this is going to allow them to be flagged for suspicious activity again. Now, something very important about this is the set command. Now, the set command for admins and moderators is very, very particular, okay? It can be undone with the undo command. However, let's go over here and let's undo this first match here. Let's go ahead and undo this match. So we're going to, you can actually use set to do a lot of different things. You can change the results of a game. You can change the results of turn order. You can change the ratings, the win-loss draw ratio. You can change a bunch of different things with the set command. It's a very powerful command. I do not recommend you use it all the time. However, if you want to set a game ID, let's go ahead and set game ID, right? And let's do this game here, 46BB2B. We can actually do this, and then why isn't this? It's a little bit hard to do this. So we're gonna do active, and we're gonna set this to false. Okay. So let's see what happens when we do that. After you do that, it sets that active game to false, and the game gets deactivated. So it actually recalculates everyone's ratings from scratch. And you can see here that Articuno had a 1068 elo. Let's go ahead and view their rating now. We're going to use list here. You can see that their rating is lower and that there are only 4 users that are in here because of the second game that is still active, right? You can undo this command, obviously, but you can also, let's just go ahead and undo this command. So now it's going to be back to active, and you can actually view everyone's list here. You can also redo it. So now we set it back to inactive, and let's actually view that second game that occurred, right? So this was the second game. This is the league game. It was this game. Yeah, it was this game. So let's view this game. We're going to use view, and we're going to use game ID, and we're going to do D0.03.7B. Notice how the ratings here said 1068. It was recalculated, right? That game was recalculated to 1035 elo, 990 or whatever, right? So you can see that this is a very powerful command, the set command. And when you use print, it'll actually show you how many inactive games there were. So for example, if you didn't want to use undo 1,000 times and there were like 50 games and game number 3 was a mistake and you want to set that to inactive, you can just do that. But let's go ahead and undo that set command. So that game is now active. And we can actually set, let's say we screwed up that game and we don't like the results of that game. And so we're going to use that same command, 46BB2B, and you can actually set the results of that game. So you can redo that game, basically. You can resubmit that game. Let's say Articuno lost, and let's say, I don't know, Gyarados won, and I bought too late, lost, and JH, we introduced JH again, right? JH was someone that was not in this game, but now they are in this game. And you can see here in this one that all 4 of these players were active, right? So let's go ahead and see what happens here. So we removed that player from the game. We added JH to the game. We recalculated everything. And now if you use list, you can see now only those 4 players are in the game. And Gyarados won, so you can see that the results are a little bit skewed here, but obviously you can see what happened here. So that's how it worked. I don't know why I have a runny nose. I do apologize for that. I promise you I'm not sick. All right, and then that's pretty much all the commands that you really need to know how to do. We talked about print, we talked about restrict, vindicate, reanimate, and backup. So this is a very important command. This backs up the entire database and sends you a private message. And the last thing to really know about is Thanos Snap. So for those of you who test, I'm just going to show this once. Timewalk will speed up the clock. It'll go 7 days, and actually there are no players who are over 1050. 1050 is the limit, by the way. So 1050 is the limit. So let's say rank, we're just going to say Articuno. We're just going to make Articuno win again. I bought too late, lost. Let's put JH here as a loser, and then let's put I bought too late test as a loser. Okay, now let's try Timewalk again, and you can see here it'll fast forward to virtual day 14 was 7. So now the virtual time has passed 7 days. If we use it again, it won't go 7 days. It'll only go the next day, because that was the next instance where a decay happened, right? Because after 6 or 7 days, Meowsalot stopped playing and their rating continued to occur. You can time walk several days. Let's time walk 3 days. And if we do this and we look at their rating now, their rating, sometimes the connection doesn't respond. That's not a bot issue. That's a connectivity issue with Discord. You can see now that Articuno's rating has dipped down significantly. It's dipped 3, 4, 5. So they went down from 1057 to 1052 because 5 days after 6 days have passed, right? So that's how you do things. And then to end the rating, to end the season, we'll do Thanos Snap. This is like basically bigger than the snap, right? Thanos Snap ends the season. And this will send you a database. Now, the database file is going to be a little smaller because it's cleaned up. They cleaned up the database to make it more easy to view. And no qualified players because, again, you need 5 games minimum to qualify for the season. So that's how you use the bot. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I am someone that is an open book. I'd be happy to show you the open source. This is an open source bot with all the source code so that you can see exactly how things worked. We welcome any feedback with the league or with the bot. If you have any questions or you want to change things up for the next league, feel free to let me or any of the moderators know on the cEDH Discord. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I make a lot of Magic the Gathering content as well as some Pokemon content. I play mostly Vintage, but I'm trying to play maybe some other formats as well. That's pretty much it. So, hope you enjoyed this video. See you later, everyone. Take care.